For some families, a new house is simply a change of address. For others, it becomes the closing chapter of one story and the uncertain beginning of another. This week, two familiar faces from the Bates family found themselves standing at very different kinds of milestones. Katie Clark finally pulled back the curtain on the move that fans have spent weeks trying to figure out, revealing that her family has officially settled into their new life in Texas after months of speculation and anticipation. At almost the same time, Josie Balka shared news that has apparently been years in the making, announcing that she and Kelton are building what they hope will become their family's dream home. Two homes, two major life transitions, and two moments that immediately had fans talking. And while both announcements were met with excitement, the conversations surrounding them quickly took on lives of their own. After days of clues, guesses, road trip updates, and endless speculation about where she might be headed, Katie finally gave followers the answer they had been waiting for. In her newest post, she reflected on what she described as one of the hardest and also one of the best seasons of her life. Without sharing every detail, Katie acknowledged that the past 6 months have been filled with challenges, growth, and significant changes. But more than anything, the tone of her message was hopeful. She spoke about feeling genuinely happy, grateful, and excited for what comes next, ending her caption with a heartfelt expression of thanks and faith as she celebrated arriving in Texas. The video itself felt intentionally personal rather than dramatic. Instead of a grand reveal, viewers were taken through snippets of the family's journey into this new chapter. Katie appeared emotional as she reflected on finally reaching their destination after a long 15-hour drive. There were glimpses of family life already beginning to take shape in the new house, from relaxing by the pool to enjoying simple moments together. The overall mood was less about showing off a property and more about documenting relief. After weeks of uncertainty, moving boxes, planning, and emotional exhaustion, the feeling coming through the screen was that of someone finally exhaling. Fans in the comments immediately embraced that energy. Many congratulated Katie and Travis on the move, while others welcomed them to Texas and expressed excitement about their future there. Several viewers commented on how genuinely happy Katie looked, noting that her smile seemed different compared to recent months. Others focused on the symbolic nature of the move itself, describing it as a fresh start and a new beginning for the entire family. Even people who admitted they had guessed Texas weeks ago seemed happy to finally receive confirmation. One of the most noticeable responses came from Travis himself. His comment quickly drew attention because of how emotional and public it was, calling Katie a treasure and promising to spend the rest of his life loving, protecting, supporting, and serving her. Travis delivered the kind of message that instantly became a talking point among followers. Family members also joined the celebration. Josie shared that Tennessee would miss Katie while expressing happiness for her new adventure. Carlin called the move exciting, and other Bates siblings filled the comments with supportive messages. But while Instagram was overwhelmingly positive, the reaction on Reddit was considerably more complicated. Rather than focusing on the emotional side of the move, many Reddit users immediately shifted the discussion toward the house itself. Once information about the property began circulating online, conversations quickly expanded beyond Katie's announcement. Some users were surprised by the home's reported value and size, especially after earlier assumptions that the move might involve downsizing. Others debated what the purchase revealed about the family's finances and whether the relocation represented a practical decision, a lifestyle upgrade, or something in between. At the same time, longtime discussions surrounding Katie and Travis resurfaced almost immediately. Some commenters viewed the move as a hopeful fresh start, expressing optimism that a new environment could help the family move forward after a difficult period. Others remained skeptical, arguing that geography alone cannot solve deeper relationship challenges. There were also ongoing debates about support systems, with some questioning the decision to move farther away from relatives, while others pointed out that building an independent life sometimes requires creating distance and starting over. What made the Reddit conversation interesting wasn't necessarily the criticism itself, but the contrast. On Instagram, the focus remained firmly on gratitude, family, and new beginnings. On Reddit, the same announcement became a much larger discussion about marriage, finances, personal growth, and what the future might hold. It was a reminder that major life updates rarely belong entirely to the people sharing them once they enter the public space. While Katie's announcement centered around arriving somewhere new, Josie's latest update focused on creating something entirely from the ground up. In a post that instantly excited her followers, Josie revealed that years of praying, planning, waiting, and dreaming had finally led to this moment. She announced that she and Kelton are building what they hope will become their family's dream home. Rather than presenting the project as a sudden decision, Josie framed it as the culmination of years of preparation. The message carried a sense of accomplishment, gratitude, and anticipation as she invited followers to join the family throughout the building process. The accompanying video reinforced that feeling. Featuring Josie, Kelton, and their daughters together, the footage wasn't centered on construction details or architectural plans. Instead, it focused on the family itself. The house represented a goal, but the emotional core of the video was the people who would eventually live there. The clips felt warm, intentional, and future-oriented, emphasizing the idea of creating a permanent place where memories would be made for years to come. Instagram users absolutely loved it. Congratulations flooded the comments section almost immediately. Friends, family members, and longtime followers celebrated the announcement and expressed excitement about watching the project unfold. Several people mentioned how deserving the couple seemed after years of hard work. Others reflected on the teamwork between Josie and Kelton, noting that the announcement felt like the reward for years of planning and commitment. Many commenters also shared their enthusiasm for seeing the design process and following the construction journey from beginning to end. Even within the Bates family, excitement was impossible to miss. Carlin enthusiastically declared how excited she was. Zach and Whitney celebrated the news, and Kelly Jo expressed anticipation about seeing the dream become reality. The comments created the feeling of a family-wide celebration rather than simply another social media update. Over on Reddit, however, the conversation took a slightly different direction. Unlike Katie's posts, which often spark intense debates, Josie's announcement generated a noticeably calmer response. One major reason was that many Reddit users felt the news wasn't actually surprising. According to several commenters, rumors about the couple purchasing land had been circulating for years. Because of that, the announcement felt less like a shocking reveal and more like confirmation of something people already expected. Another common theme involved comparisons. Some users contrasted Josie and Kelton's approach with that of other Bates family members, describing their home-building project as a long-term plan rather than an impulsive decision. Whether those comparisons were fair or not, they appeared repeatedly throughout the discussion. There was also conversation about finances, with several commenters arguing that the project seemed to reflect years of preparation and stable income rather than rapid lifestyle expansion. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of the Reddit reaction was how little controversy ultimately emerged. Even among users who are often critical of the Bates family, there appeared to be a general acknowledgement that this particular goal had been years in the making. While a few commenters joked about multiple Bates sisters entering their dream home era at the same time, the overall tone remained relatively positive. And maybe that's what makes these two stories so fascinating when viewed side by side. One family has finally arrived after a long season of uncertainty. Another is just beginning the process of building toward a future they've imagined for years. Different journeys, different conversations, and different reactions from viewers, yet both updates revolve around the same idea: creating a place to call home. Whether it's a front door being opened for the first time in Texas, or the first steps toward a house that doesn't even exist yet, both Katie and Josie seem to be entering chapters defined less by where they've been and more by where they hope to go next.